scene stealers. And if you've never been a part of our program, here's where we take our favorite artists and we put them up on the board. But before we go into that, Dave, why don't you give us a quick rewind of this season?
All right, make us small. Bring the board up. Episode 1 was Joker. That put Joaquin Phoenix on the board.
Where we go werewolf.
Episode 2 was Invention of Lion. That got Jennifer Gardner up there.
Jay Jeezy, baby.
Howard the Duck put Chip Zien, the voice actor of Mr. Duck.
Once you go quack, you never go back. And what about Candyman, Dirty?
Candyman was Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. I'm sure of it.
All right.
That brings us to the people under the stairs. I've got 2 honorable mentions.
And I have 2 as well, but one of them is not a person. Listen, as a human being, I have to emit emotion. I have to use my voice inflection. I got to use my hands like Jan had to do because he had no words in the script. As an animal, they're treated like animals. They're taught to jump, sit. There's all these little cues going off. But as a big tame lighter, a red one at that, all American blooded, and just to let that flame rise up out of you. And it's also akin to holding your breath. You try holding your breath for 98 seconds, but it's now try spitting fire for 98 seconds like a rapper from the 80s.
I can't spit fire for 2 seconds.
So with that being said, God damn it, you're the greatest lighter I've ever known. If anything was ever lit by you, it deserved it.
That was fire.
Little Vicky.
My first honorable mention goes to Bing Rames as Leroy.
Friend of Ruby's.
He's always my favorite. When I watched it growing up, when I was younger, I saw him as a good guy. I didn't pick up on how he was such a toxic danger to fool, but even knowing that now, I still really enjoy his character. Bing Rames plays a bad guy that you love to loathe so well. He has such a powerful delivery that comes off as like effortless. Why do I want to feel like there's more to that? Okay.
Effortless.
Effortless. It just seems too short. He has such a powerful delivery that comes off as so effortless for him. Always a pleasure to watch. So yeah, first honorable mention to Bing Rames.
I was listening.
I want to second that as well, because that was my second honorable mention, was Vin Rames. And not only just Vin Rames, an early Vin Rames. I did not know he was in this film. Clearly I watched this as a child and he was just a black man smoking a cigarette under dashiki.
Leroy.
Trying to send kids out to do drugs and sell stuff and wear Boy Scouts uniforms and come back with no cookies.
Yeah,
but
I think it was for me when I was a kid watching it, I picked up on the fact that he was kind of an asshole, but in that situation that they were in together, he seemed like Fool's only hope as far as if there was going to be a guardian there to protect him if shit got crazy, it would have been Leroy.
No room.
I'm jealous.
I'm a friend of your mom's.
Right, he basically said that. Yeah. You want something from the stove?
My other honorable mention is Everett McGill as Daddy. This dude was just very entertaining and over the top. Always turned all the way up.
I killed your skinny friend in the walls. Now what do you think of that?
He gave a great performance. I just don't think it always fit very well within the framework of the movie he was performing in. On his own, aside from just in his own
doing like
respect.
an American Psycho.
Oh yeah.
Him though, because it would have been focused on him. It was that character. It's like I don't want to cut you off, but you're correct. That character had so many levels to it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you 100%. Now, I'm going to make it short and I'm going to try to make it short and sweet. My scene stealer is one, Mr. Brandon Quinton. And the reason why I say that, I'm sorry, Black Macaulay Culkin.
Black Macaulay Culkin.
Yes. I know how long it is to be on set when you have 2 lines.
Yeah.
This kid, not even this kid, this talent, this actor was there seemingly every day, almost in every scene. The story really revolved. It might have been the people on the stairs or the kid on set, because I'm telling you, man, what he had to do and this is a credit to Wes Craven as well, to the stories you guys will hear later, that the things that he did with this kid to get him. And I'm just like, you know what? I saw the beats, and I don't care how you got the beats out of the kids. I saw the lines being performed, and you brought this up earlier. He didn't overperform, he didn't underperform, and that's when you know you're doing your job as an actor. As I saw you as just this kid, and I saw you doing these things, and I'm thinking like, you're outpacing some of the adults on set. This story was wrote for you, but you can easily fuck this up without the right direction. And then to find out his G-Ma is on set, they're with him, and you don't want to let her down. Like, I became an instant, and then we talked to him earlier today, and I became an instant fan of his, but then I became a little bit somber and angered because I was just like, now granted, Home Alone didn't start Macaulay Culkin. Of course, he was in Uncle Buck, and then that's what kind of, it went from there. But I'm looking at it like, talk about stunts. He did more stunts than Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. And then I'm thinking about what happened with their careers after that and what this kid did. And like, there's no reason he shouldn't have been the Nick Cannon at that time. Definitely a better actor than Nick Cannon. He should have been, his career should have skyrocketed. You're doing these things and it didn't. Yet we have Macaulay Culkin, and don't get me wrong, they gave him Good Son and this, that, and the other, and it kept going down, down, and down, and down. It's just like, man, why didn't his career take, and I'm not just going to blame it on the times, but I just really wish he would have been able to blossom and grow. I don't think he would have been a burnout kid actor. So I got to give it.
He definitely had a lot of iconic roles after The People Under the Stairs.
Correct.
Like, arguably, put him and Macaulay Culkin against each other on IMDb, and
right.
He was in more things that I watched growing up than Macaulay Culkin was, between the Mighty Ducks movies, the Sandlot.
Oh yeah. Easily, his career and his acting range is there. So it just, unless it was his own decision, then I would have loved to have seen what his career would have been like. Because it's one of the hardest things to do as an actor is be a child actor and then grow up and go through it. And that's why the ones we see do it, you just got to love them for it. Even with Robert Downey Jr. wasn't a child, but even when he started out, over the years, only the special ones can grow into it. So I got to give it to him, man. He was that dude, man.
Yeah, I agree. Brandon Quinton Adams is my scene stealer as well, for being so young and, like you said, carrying a film. It's impressive for anybody, any age, to carry an entire film on their shoulders. But when you put that responsibility on a kid and they actually pulled it off,
right?
I mean, even right to the very end when he's having this showdown where he is expected to be intimidating in a standoff with the main antagonist of the film.
I don't want to kill you.
In most cases, like, if that scenario would have played out, it would have kind of blew the illusion for me. Like, okay, that now they're stretching it because this is not believable. But for whatever reason, he did it so effectively that I actually believed that moment between him and Gimp Daddy. It was a little weird how the dynamite ended up there, and he knew what to do with it. But as far as the verbal exchange back and forth, that was.
He even said, "I don't want to kill you."
But I will, because I don't like you much anyway.
Let's make that clear. I don't want to kill you. I don't like you.
Right, and that was very true.
Yeah, he did really good, and not just good, but consistently good through the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
He was, like you said, just very natural.
I'm tired of fucking around.
He was great. He was, and I would credit a lot of that to Wes Craven and his direction, but I mean, really, he's good in all the movies that I remember.
So the credit has to go to G-Ma.
Yeah.
So guess what, Brandon? Not only are you getting on the board, you're the first kid on the board,
and the first person we've had or guest on the show that's
to be
also
on the
a scene
board.
stealer. So,
hey,
Brandon Quinton Adams, go ahead and moonwalk yourself right
up
onto
these stairs.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Hey, welcome, man.
Yeah, these stairs aren't going to ramp you down.
No. You did it, man. Hey, you did it, brother.
I feel like $1 million.